How are you today, Joanne?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you.
Well,
Just
thanks for
always that technical stuff.
yes, and thanks for facing your fear and jumping on into Instagram Live head first, right?
Yes, ma'am. I walk
Okay,
the walk.
that's it. I'm excited to have you here today to help us better understand how we can use fear, in particular, in our businesses. So, why don't you share a little bit about what you do in terms of being a success and transformation trainer?
Well, I really appreciate that. So, I am a certified coach. I have been running women's networking groups for 10 years. And in that capacity, my groups involve teaching, learning component or meetings. And I really am just committed to supporting women, to supporting us, to live our best authentic selves,
Hmm.
to learn how to master the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings that guide us, right? And they can either guide us towards our highest good, living lives that are fulfilling, successful, prosperous, or sometimes they leave us disempowered, and that's sort of where fear comes in.
Hmm.
Because unless we learn how to deal with our fears, unfortunately, they can hinder and sabotage us instead of be a tool that can help us move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you feel like the purpose of fear really is in our lives and therefore in our businesses when we're business owners?
Beautiful question. Fear is biologically wired into us as human beings. Okay. If we go back thousands of years to our cave people ancestors, every day, a moment to moment was a challenge for survival. So the fear instinct had to be hardwired
Hmm.
in in our ancestors. Evolution, though, has not necessarily caught up with the modern day world. So we still have fear responses in our body: the racing heart, the sweaty palms, right? Shortness of breath. When we perceive something as dangerous. Now, danger only happens 2% of the time. You see a shark fin at the beach, or you're walking down a dark alley at night and there's shadowy figures. Potential danger. 98% of the time, the fear response is to something that is simply unknown or unfamiliar.
Mm.
So the body doesn't always discern what's dangerous and what's just something new that we haven't dealt with. So
Mm.
it will create that same fear response. And if we don't understand that, again, it's normal. It's normal. It's natural. We're wired for it. We're never not going to have
Mhm.
fears.
Yeah, I think that that's a very good point, is just acknowledging that you're not going to wipe fear away. And um, the idea of being 100% fearless probably wouldn't be very beneficial for you as a human being, because you might not make it very long in that,
Exactly.
even though
We
there's
need
only
fear.
10% danger, but still.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
fear. Fear has a role in life. It's just understanding it and managing it so it can be an ally to us
Mm.
instead of something stopping us.
So, how do we make it an ally, in particular in our business? I know you have three ways that we can shape fear or use fear in our business. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, sure. So, number one is when we feel fear in relation to today's context is business, it's showing us, it's actually pointing us in the direction of what I call our growth
Mm-hmm.
edge. So think about it. If you're humming along and you're doing the same old thing and you're kind of comfortable, fear is not going to raise its head, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
However, let's say you decide you're going to do an IG live for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to start posting more videos in social media, or you're thinking of hiring a VA because it's like you're right on the edge of growth and you think that might help your business.
Mm-hmm.
Those new concepts can trigger the fear response.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's our choice to shut down or move forward. And so I want people to understand that when you feel the fear, it can motivate you, because that discomfort is a signal. This could be the next step we need to take in
Mm-hmm.
order to grow our business.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, fear shows us our growth edge, exactly what the next step we might need to take in order to attract more clients, to be more
Mm-hmm.
visible, to show up like that. The second way fear could be helpful is understanding and noticing the very sneaky ways fear can show up. Now, in my work with women, and in my own life, it's very interesting when we notice ourselves procrastinating, notice ourselves getting into perfectionism,
Mm-hmm.
uh, noticing ourselves avoiding, being confused, indecisive. These are all fear responses. So we procrastinate. It's not a time management issue. It's an emotional management issue. So we will avoid, get distracted, or procrastinate because whatever we're thinking of doing, like the IG Live or posting videos, it triggers something uncomfortable in us,
Mm-hmm.
right? It could be the fear of visibility. It could be the fear of rejection. It could be the fear of technical issues.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't have to do it today.
Mm-hmm.
Or we become distracted. Oh, you know what? I think I'll just call my friend Sue or walk the dog rather than do a video and post it.
Mm-hmm.
So another way we could use fear is by recognizing the tricky ways that it can often try to stop us and not allowing that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the third thing that I tell clients and the women I work with is you will not die by trying that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you and I had a little bit of a technical glitch. Did I die from trying this?
Thank
No,
goodness.
no. If you post a video, are you going to die if nobody shows up? No.
Mm-hmm.
So it's recognizing again that even though in our bodies we may feel discomfort, we are not going to get hurt physically. We're not going to die by stepping into that thing that we may be fearful about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so those are excellent points, and I love the emotional management comment that you made. That's really managing this emotion that's coming up, but it's a natural emotion, as you said originally, and so it's like being aware and recognizing that repeatedly, and then seeing what your personal tendency is, shall we say, when that emotion arises. How do you tend to be in that uncomfortable spot, and looking for things like procrastination or avoidance. I think those are excellent flags to say, hey, this isn't necessarily a red flag for you to stop and quit, but it's maybe a flag that's saying, look, here's an opportunity. It's going to be an uncomfortable opportunity because you haven't done it before, so you know what's on the other side. But ideally, like you said, if it's leading you to that next step in your business, it's the right step to take, and it's the right kind of emotion to move through or work with in your business. So I know you also maybe had a suggestion on how we can actually work with our fears, so that they don't stop us. You've kind of given us those tools there and those signals of when fear arises. How do you feel like we can work with it so that we don't shut down, we don't just procrastinate and never do it and avoid it?
Yeah, that's great. So there's a couple of things we can do. First of all, everything starts with self-awareness, right? So when we recognize that we're avoiding or we're getting into perfectionism or we're procrastinating, it's stopping, right? It's stopping and noticing and acknowledging and giving ourselves a heck of a lot of grace and compassion uh, for the discomfort that's coming up for us. So I think that's really crucial. What we are trying to do here really is manage our central nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
Is because the fear is a combination of thoughts that come up in our head, such as, oh, what if I post this video and nobody sees it? That's a thought. mindset. But the other thing, like I mentioned earlier, is it's a bodily reaction, right? So it is like the butterflies in the stomach and the sweaty palms and the racing heart. And what we could do there is do some things to calm our system down.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so I'm a huge advocate of breathing, deep
Mm-hmm.
breathing, doing a few minutes of just closing one's eyes, taking a nice long inhale, holding it. And you always want to exhale a little slower than the inhale. And it's just allowing your body to calm down and reminding yourself, I'm not going to die from trying
Mm-hmm.
this. I am safe. It's affirming. I am safe. I am safe. Um, Another great thing is there's a practice called
Mm-hmm.
EFT. There's YouTube videos on it. It's another term for it is tapping. So it's using different meridian points with your hand over the body.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it helps to calm our central nervous system down.
Mm-hmm.
Some other things we could do is get up, is shake it out. You know, shake your arms out, dance around, go outside on the grass, take your shoes off, and ground yourself in some grass. Stand there, right? Because these are all ways to get the body to just realize that we are safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are great, helpful tips. Thank you so much for bringing that forward because you're right. You do have that thought and you have those emotions, but it's not always about driving your way through the fear in that moment because literally there is the biological response and your nervous system is basically hijacking your prefrontal cortex like stop, don't make any decisions. That analysis paralysis
Yes.
that you were talking about is real. And so using some of these techniques, breathing, grounding, etc., shifting your all these techniques are to shift your nervous system more back toward that state of rest and digest as opposed to fight or flight. And if we can shift back for that moment into rest and digest, then we are more likely to create more of that deeper level of self-awareness that, hey, this is a temporary state. I can
Yes.
see this is something that, I've got some fear around because it's unknown. Um, Now that I'm more calm, I can, approach what's the next step going to be for me to kind of work with this and move through it, knowing that it's something that, I want to do, etc. So, well, those are very helpful tips. Thank you so much for this discussion around fear because we all have it. As you said, it's in all of our lives. And in particular, if you're taking the risk to own your own business, it is going to be present as well. But it's not something that we have to let stop us. It's not always, as you said, uh, that point of no return. It's usually just an indicator of, hey, you haven't done this before, you don't know what's on the other side, your body's naturally going to be fearful of that. And here are some ways to shift the nervous system so that you can work with it and move forward. So I feel like that's very helpful. Anything else that you want to share with us? Is there a way that people can contact you in terms of, you mentioned kind of some of your groups and things like that?
Yeah, I mean and I just want to say one quick thing in it. Your summary was beautiful, and remember, the first time you do it is usually the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do it once, every time after that, it's easier and easier. So I
Yeah.
just want to say that. Yeah, well, people can email me. My email is Joanne, Joanne, the letter G is in George, coach at gmail.com. So I'm happy to do that. I have a website, Joanne Garroway. So my last name is GARROWAY, joannegarroway.com. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
get updated soon, but that gives you an overview of who I am and some of my work. So yeah, so I'd love for anybody to reach out and have a conversation. I'm open to having a free conversation about my work and what somebody may need supported.
Wonderful. Well, I appreciate that. And hopefully there will be a lot of people out there who see this and see the possibility of transformation, that you don't have to be stuck in that state of fear. You can utilize it and move forward with it. So really appreciate you coming on today, stepping into Instagram Live for the Hey, this is an excellent example. Doing
Yes, thank you.
your own right.
Yes, thank
That,
you. Thank you for the opportunity and for your patience in supporting me in this process.
yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. All right. Well, take care, and I hope we will see you again here, maybe for a different topic in the future.
Sounds good. Thank you. Take
Thanks.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye.